everyone. Happy Supercharged Manifesting Monday. Welcome to the start of another week. I am going to wait for y'all to join me this morning. I have a wonderful thing on here that is not accurate. Let's see. Interesting. So I'm trying to get this banner off because we're not talking about 5 wealth lessons. That was last week. So let's create a brand new one. Reverse. Good morning, everyone. As you're coming in, happy Monday. Everything always works out. There we go. All fixed. All right. Happy Monday. I want to start off this morning just by saying, let me jump over here to the comments, just by saying thank you to everyone who wished me a happy first anniversary. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I think so many of you watched that manifestation unfold that it felt a little bit like celebrating with you all. And oh my gosh, you know what? My husband did not hold back. I kept thinking about little Tasha and how she could have never in her wildest dreams imagined all of this. I mean, this man did not hold back. I was to the point of like, wow, babe. I was like, this is a lot. But you know what? I want to share that with you humbly to say, whatever it is that your heart desires, keep the dream. Just keep the dream. All I can tell you is you deserve it. That's it. You deserve it. And so with that, I have a beautiful guest this morning that I want to share with you. Many of you know her affectionately. She's laughing in the background. Affectionately, we call her Deneise Money Manifesting McKesey. So let's bring her on. Good morning, Deneise.
Good morning. Good morning, Tasha. Good morning, Facebook.
You're looking wealthy and ready at 8 a.m. this morning.
Only for you.
I am so grateful. Thank you to everyone still saying happy first anniversary. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, my mom is on watching. What?
Yay.
Mom.
Good morning, Mom.
Oh my gosh. Okay, give me a moment. I don't even know if I've ever seen you on here.
Isn't that funny? Like the moment your parents enter the room, it's like you change. Like
I'm like, wait a second, I gotta be on my mommy Tasha behavior. Like mommy's in the room.
Good morning, Mommy.
Oh my gosh. All right, so she's saying good morning, guys. So that right there, Junie Crooks, that's my mom just calling her out. Oh my gosh, I love it. All right, so Deneise, we are here because we want to talk about reverse engineering manifesting. And there's so many different angles that I wanted to do this topic. I wanted to invite you at one point, right after this happened, I wanted to invite you to talk about your organization, talk about what it was that you were, fundraising for, and how the event went, and just, like that angle.
Yes.
And really to be very proud of my involvement with you as a part of what you manifested. And then I thought, you know what, there's a more powerful lesson here for me, for all of us, that I want you to share. And so I want to story tell this morning, and we're going to go you ever watch one of those movies and it's like they go backwards, So we're going to start at the beginning and then we're going to go backwards. And everyone who is right now in that place where you are waiting for something to manifest and you are putting in a lot of effort and energy that is not just productive, I want you to listen to this story and I just want you to be inspired. So let's start with the beginning. Deneise is a goddess. She is a member of the Goddess Wealth Circle, and you can see the goddess oozing. That's what being a goddess looks like. And so we were in a recent retreat in Dominican Republic, and we had one of our activities that we shared was to hold a sacred table, right? And for every woman to ask for what she needed. And so everyone was taking turns. And one of the things about being a goddess is that everything you need is at the table. And I didn't walk into this activity telling the women that. I wanted to prove it to them. I wanted them to experience that as a truth. And so we were sitting there and everyone was asking and receiving. And then it got to Denise. And Denise, she seemed a little bit like, I don't know, like, I don't want to say unsure, but it was clear that she was switching directions. It's clear that she was getting ready to ask for what she needed, but she was switching directions. And then she just said, this is what I'm looking for. And then the way she asked for what this is also a note, the way she asked for what she was looking for was the harder way, the more complicated way, right? And she was looking for funding for her organization. She had a golf tournament coming up in a week. And I'll have you share with everyone what the tournament was about, what you were raising funds for. And so she needed like really large donations fast. And so her request to the table was, does anyone have any in with corporate sponsors, big, large organizations that could write a check for $10,000, right? And so it's like, how much do you need? $10,000. And I said, I'll do it, right? I'll do it. And Denise just kept talking. It was like, I hadn't even said that. She just kept talking. Which was interesting. And then it was like, I think it took her a couple of minutes and she was like, wait a minute.
They had to stop me. They had to stop me. Like, wait a minute. Did you hear what you just said?
Did you hear what just happened here? So I want to start from the manifestation moment, right? And now I want you to kind of like dial us back to like a week before, 2 weeks before, all the things that you were doing to create this receiving of these large funds. Tell us about the organization. Did you write an intention? Did you do all the things we say to do? And then where were you leading up to coming to the retreat? Yeah. Take it away, Denise.
Okay, so now I told you that you're going to make me come on here and start crying all over again.
Okay, you look cute when you cry. We'll take it.
Oh, gosh. All right. So I am... I'm a co-founder of an organization called Off School Grounds Coalition. Myself and my husband, well, really, my husband is a visionary. He's the mastermind behind this organization, Goddess McKesey. And it was birthed during the pandemic, a time where a lot of uncertainty. He's an educational leader. He supports school leaders all across the nation. And during the pandemic, it was very challenging for, principals to even wrap their heads around what to do during this time. So so we support principals that support the kids, all of our kids that attend these schools, right? So that's the number one thing. The golf outing, we have this amazing golf classic. This is our organization is only 3 years old. Let me just point that out.
Yeah.
So 2020, during the pandemic, so it's 3 years old. This is our second annual golf classic that we hold in New York, because that's where we're based. So this year we were raising, from the first year, we started raising funds because we wanted to give back to the community in the way of scholarship programs for kids and adults pursuing higher education, right? So fast forward just a tad, we're planning our second annual golf outing. I literally have, and I'm also preparing for our retreat. I have one sponsor, and it's 2 weeks before the golf outing. So Denise, don't panic. Making phone calls, sending out emails, just appealing to everyone, so all of our sponsors from last year to kind of come back and support. And it was like crickets, so I started to get very nervous and I said, you know what? Nope, we're not going to do this. my goal, like I said, going into it, I said, you know what, I want those major sponsors. We created these amazing sponsorship packages, and at every level. So if you wanted to just do all the way from $500 to $10,000, and this is our first year that we decided to do a $10,000 platinum sponsorship. And I said, you know what, I really want that one $10,000 sponsorship. I said, if I get that, like, I would be so, so happy. Right. So, we got a couple people that say, yeah, we're going to do it. But in my mind, I like until
Yeah,
I
until
see
the
you.
checks in
Yeah,
the bank,
until
right?
I see, or until until I see it, which is for most of us, until I see it, I don't believe it, right? And just trying to come out of that mindset and just go into it, just believe him. So getting ready for Dominican Republic. And I said, you know what, God, I'm leaving this right here. I'm not taking any work with me. I'm not doing, and this is a first for me because I always bring my laptop and everything, and I'm always doing work, no matter what. But this time I totally disconnected, and I was fully present with the goddesses in every activity that we needed to do, and that was going to benefit me and elevate me, right? So not thinking any further about my sponsors or anything. Katasha brought up, we were at the table, and the question that was asked was, how can I experience more ease as I expand my business? Right? So thinking, it's like, okay, I have it written down right here. A great administrative assistant for me. Right? That was what I wrote down. It's right here. Right here. I said, if I have somebody that could really help me to lift the burden, lift these things off of my plate that I do, because I do have a business that I run, and I support, people, individuals with their personal finances, as well as small businesses with their logistics and operations of their businesses as well, and my own logistics of my business.
Right.
I put a lot into the non-for-profit organization, which is something that is just from my heart, complete volunteer. Everything that we do for the organization is 100% voluntary.
Okay.
And I believe that I sacrifice more for this organization than my own business that, funds my lifestyle.
Okay.
So when it came to me, my turn to share, like, what's your ask? And I said, you know what? I want sponsorships. I want some big sponsorships. I put down PGA because I wanted PGA on there. I want those big corporate sponsors to sponsor our event, because I know once they hear about our organization, they're going to believe in it and they're going to want to invest in it and support us, because we're giving out this year $20,000 in scholarships. To $5,000. These are not small scholarships. Like,
right.
So if anyone is going through college or has a child that's going through college, those scholarships can range anywhere from $100 on up.
Yeah.
So for us to be 3 years old, giving out two $5,000 scholarships and one $10,000 scholarships,
wow,
was something huge, and a milestone in our organization. So I put out to the goddesses, I need connections. Who can get me in the room with these corporate sponsors? Because so Tasha said, well, how much are you looking for? I said, I have a $10,000 sponsorship that I'm trying to fill. She said, I'll do it. I said, but, and we're doing this for, our scholars, and that's when they had to stop me, because I kept going, as Tasha said, and just giving, like, just explaining, like, this is why you need to do it. This is why you need to do it. Not realizing
this is why I need to be introduced to other people.
Yeah. This is like, it's already done. Like, you already got your answer. And I'm like, wait a minute, are you serious? And I completely broke down in tears. Every time I tell this story, I feel like teary-eyed. I told it at the golf classic as well. um, because here I am trying to climb the biggest tree to get to the very top when there was an apple right in front of me, waiting to be held. And what made it even more meaningful, like Tasha, you said, you know, this is something that I've wanted to do. I just didn't know where I would donate. And there's so many other people out there that have that same feeling. I want to support. I just don't know where.
And oh my gosh, we're going to go off on a tangent, but I'll just one of the things that this has been, and we're going to go in every angle around this, but I want to share my perspective, right? Because I've had this desire on my heart for a long time, and I have silently donated in lots of ways, primarily personally, right? I've donated, I've done a lot of GoFundMe things. I mean, I've done a lot. And one of the things that, like I'm always concerned about with larger organizations that are requesting funding is that I know it's usually a large percentage goes to the running of the organization and a very small percentage to the cause. And so you need a lot of people to be donating. So you have like big numbers for the cause. But me as a giver, and a donor, I would really feel a lot better when I know that a larger percentage is going to go to the cause that I believe in. And so I have held this desire to donate in this way specifically for a long time. We talk about wealth creation. So many people have come to me and said, oh, you should really teach younger kids how to do this, right? You should have programs for younger kids. And I've been very clear, like, yes, I want to do that. Doesn't mean I have to do it. I can support organizations that are already set up and established to do that. And so what I want to share with you is that you're out there having a desire and someone else is out there praying, right? To be able to do what it is that you're asking to be done. And this was just such a beautiful marriage in the way that this experience occurred for both of us, right? Yeah. So Deneise, I want you to talk about the piece around surrendering. You're getting ready to go to the DR. And because I think a lot of people can relate, it's like, oh my gosh, Josh, I'm at the end of my rope. I have done everything, right? I've done all that I know to do. I've done everything. And it's like, it feels like an uphill battle. I don't know where else to turn. And just what do you have to share about that? Because I've always said it's in the surrendering that the magic happens, when you get out of the way. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And what I could truly say is it works in all facets of life. Not just when it comes to our finances, because we get frustrated when, the money is just acting real funny and it just doesn't want to come out the way we want it
to come out and play.
Like, I got this bill due next week. I don't have it. I don't see where it's coming from.
Right.
But it's also in those decisions or things that we're working with, just like me with seeking those sponsorships and the donations to support the organization. And it's just like, God, I've done all that I can do, and I now place it in your hands. And that's just completely letting go. And that's exactly what I did. And when you say letting go, you're not thinking about it. It's not in the forefront of your mind anymore. You've shifted to a whole nother thing. In that moment, I shifted it to focus on me and our retreat and gaining everything that I needed at that retreat to deposit into me. I wasn't thinking about the golf outing anymore. There was nothing that I can do,
right.
in that moment.
Right.
So whatever it is, it could wait till I come back.
When you told me the backstory, that's why I wanted you to be here to share, because there's so much, I remember when I had an incredible manifestation 2 years ago. There was someone I wanted to mentor with who said they weren't mentoring one-on-one with anyone. It was only group. They weren't mentoring. And I was like, man, I journaled. I did all the things I teach, right? I did everything. And came down to, I had been in this program and the person was just not offering one-on-one. And I literally was just like, you know what? I'm just, like, this is not happening. I'm frustrated, like, whatever, give up, walk away. That's exactly what happened. And 2 days after I did that, I got an email from the man saying, I'm opening, like, he was like, I'm opening 20 spots. You have 24 hours. Let me tell you what, I was on it like white on rice. And when I got to be one of the 20 and I talked to him and I was asking him about manifesting a relationship, right? And so he was like, Tasha, just reverse engineer this. He was like, go back and do all the things. And the key was, and this was his advice as well, it was that moment where I just let go. I just surrendered. I was just like, there's nothing else I can do at this point. But here was what was the most intriguing to me, because in the reverse engineering, I wanted to hear from him too. Like, so what was going on your end? And he was like, look, I had been doing one-on-one coaching. It had burned me out. I resented it. I hated it. I was no longer passionate about my work because that model was not working for me anymore. Right. And so I was doing group and just committed. That's all I'm going to do. All of that. He goes, and then out of nowhere, I just got this idea. Well, it's been 2 years since you did one-on-one. Why don't you just like offer it, And so that's how it came. And it reminds me in the Science of Getting Rich when it says, when you have a purpose, when you are committed to a purpose. And this is where people will say, it's not about the money. It's about what is your purpose. And when you're committed to your purpose and you have decided, everything will move for you. Heaven and earth will move for you. The minds of people everywhere, right? And it's such a testament to the truth of that. You and I witness it with us. I witness it with him. And sure enough, again, fast forward a few weeks later, I was back in another scenario where I had to let go. I had to let go and surrender. 2 weeks later, I met Tony, so there is so much in just that little piece.
Yes.
Be committed to your purpose. Amen, Marcella. That part, right?
Yeah. And it was, just surrendering and you being that person to contribute. It started the rippling effect. Others started to come. I started getting the phone call the minute I came back from Dominican Republic. The phone call started. I got an email from our prior sponsor. Hey, we're gonna come, and we had it was just so many people. Like when I tell you the turnout, I mean the attendance, like the registrations, they weren't as where I would have anticipated them to be. But the moment I released and I came back, it was just like, it's like, oh, okay, we're really doing this. And it turned out to be a bigger, more impactful event than the prior year. And we have even more people wanting to contribute to the organization in large amounts.
Denise, I am just intending that everyone here is picking the piece of this story that you need, right? Listen to the reverse engineering. And the piece that we never even got to is when you said, I just decided to surrender and just to go fill me up, just to go love me, right? I'm telling you, like, that is such a holy truth. It is such a holy truth. And I want like everyone listening to just like pick that up. There's lots that's been here this morning. In fact, what did you get? Like share, but I just want you to pick that piece up, if nothing else, right? When it feels like it's not working the way you want to, let it go.
Yeah.
Give it to God.
Yeah.
Give it to God, let go, and go focus
Truly.
on something else. And if you can, let part of the focusing on something else be fill yourself up, right? Yeah. People are asking, where can we donate? Woo!
So the website for the organization is the official OSG.org. The official OSG.org. If you go on, right now, I've taken a little hiatus from Instagram, but there is a connection when you go into my link for you to get to the organization as well. But it's the Off School Grounds Coalition. We support school leaders and students all across the globe. We have our 5 pillars within our organization. In what we do, we focus on. One, of course, is educating our young people and adults in finances. We dealt with physical and mental well-being, educational technology, food insecurities, and dealing with creating food pantries, and leadership development, developing our leaders, our principals, and our future leaders to be the best possible so that they can, we pour into them so that they can pour into our young adults.
So somebody typed it. Thank you, Rhonda. The official OSG. Off School Grounds, the official OSG.org.
Yes. Thank you, Rhonda.
I want to ask you, that other little piece that I want, that nuance, is when you were asking incorrectly, right? Or when you were like asking for harder, or asking, like asking for, and that was the thing. Like sometimes I feel, that I always talk about the ask, the purity and sincerity of the ask, and your intentions behind the ask. And you were going for what seemed in your conscious mind to be the logical thing that you desired.
Yeah.
When you got nudged, like, actually go for what you really on your
really want. Yeah.
And you did, and then you received, right?
Yeah.
And so what I love about that, though, Denise, is that you were so obedient. Right? You were willing to be obedient in that moment, because I know for me, sometimes I've battled my conscious mind and what my conscious mind is saying versus what my heart knows is my desire, right?
Yes.
So can you share, what would you say to someone who is like facing that?
Yeah. So, a lot of people say, oh yeah, go with your first choice, your first instinct or whatever. But no, it's those silent nudges of what really makes your heart bleed. Right. So although, I still want that great administrative assistant.
Yeah.
But in that moment, a burning desire for me was to fill that sponsorship level.
Yeah.
Like that would just take me over the moon, because that's truly where my heart is. Like we've invested so much of ourselves and our finances into this organization that, like, I sleep, breathe this, dream it, like, for everyone. Like, it's just such a desire for me. Like, just the philanthropic aspect of my life brings so much joy to me. Like, you have no idea how great it feels. And I had those giant checks.
I was just going to ask you, what that moment now when you were like handing over.
Yeah, like those giant checks, like I had them created. I put their names on it because that's how big it was just for me. Right? So I know that this is even greater for them. So I was, like a proud mama and daddy just standing there giving out these, like that, just, it felt so amazing. And to be out on a golf course showcasing our top donor was my mentor. Like, I was so freaking proud.
I took video. We know.
But everyone, by the end of that golf outing, knew Tasha Chin, and that, it went for a great cause, supporting people, pursuing their dream. to educate themselves.
Mm.
We have one student that's going to Cornell University.
Woo!
We have another student that's going to University of Washington in St. Louis.
Wow.
And the $10,000 scholarship went to a mother of color pursuing her master's in educational leadership at Columbia University.
Wow. 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 So here's the other part of my donation that I would like to talk about. The reason, right, that the business was in a position to make that donation is because of all the people that have themselves invested in themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And giving the business a position to be generous, to support other people.
Yes.
And I just want to share this. When I started this journey in business, you know, for a lot of people, it's about the money, and God bless you.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I've always said, and you've heard me, what is like the end all for me? It is
Mm-hmm.
going away for 8 weeks in the summer.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It is like, right? It is the living. And for me, that moment where I was able to give back, like, why do you want wealth? Why do you want wealth? Right? And so many people are like, oh, you know, wealthy people are greedy, and you have negative connotations around wealth. Well, I just want to be the model for you of what it looks like to have some amount of wealth and to be generous with it in a way that it benefits other people. And I'm like trying not to get on a soapbox this morning. To be honest, it's such an amazing year. Tita says chills all over. No, it really is. You know, I really want everyone watching to think about this and to say, you know, really, yeah, we can acquire a lot of wealth, but I would really encourage you to tap into your purpose, your soul's purpose. And to also consider one of the things that we did when, as a goddesses, we did this 8-day activity, right? Where we talked about massive amounts of wealth and what we would do. And one of the beautiful things was to hear how philanthropic so many of you were. And that was like the thing that you were, one of the things that you were the most excited for, to have wealth. And that to me as a goddess, right? That is a pure heart. And so I just want to say, Deneise, thank you for coming on. Any last things you want to share? We've gone over our time. Any last things you want to share for everyone, just to be like, listen?
It's in the surrendering. It really is. Mm-hmm. If you're battling or you just getting frustrated, you're at that point, it's time to surrender and let go and let God.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you for coming on and sharing. Everyone watching and watching the replay, I hope you got a bit of things that you get to take and you get to have.
Absolutely.
Look, Deneise, you woke up at 8 a.m. You look like a goddess.
Listen, I actually woke up at 7 a.m. Yes. And anyone that knows me knows that I'm truly a night person. Yes. So mornings are, you know, but I'll do anything for Tasha.
Oh, thank you, Deneise. Thank you, everyone watching. Have a great Monday, everyone. Bye.